How was yesterday?
Oh, it was very funeral-y.
Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't really that funeral-y, to tell you the truth. Be honest with you. Most people were kind of like, relieved.
Well, for the people that don't know, your grandma.
My grandma.
93?
93 years. Passed away the other day. So we had the wake.
And
then the funeral. And, Jesus. It's like 93 years old. I was even joking around once we got back to the house and saying, just goes to show, we don't have much time on this earth. You got to live for the moment. It's 93 years. The last 4 or 5 of those years, by the way, were the decline.
The George Steinbrenner years?
Yeah, the Steinbrenner years. The decline into dementia.
Right.
So it was just kind of like, I have no recollection of my grandmother from about, I guess, the 3 years ago is like the last time I even saw her.
Wow.
And they had, brought her for her 90th birthday or something.
Out of the home for the day?
Out of the home, over to my mom and Sal's house.
Mm-hmm.
And, she had a couple of things to say, but not really.
What were they?
Just kind of sitting around.
Blue, bubble gum.
When are the doughboys coming back from Europe? One of those, moments.
That dementia's a bitch, huh?
Oh, so, but...
You think it's a bitch for them, though?
I don't know.
For real?
I don't know, because when you have a lucid moment, do you think like, oh, my God, this sucks?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back into, flowers for Algernon in a second.
Yeah, but then you do, and then you don't remember that you had that nice lucid moment.
Exactly. So who knows? And then, she just had an old age.
She was never the help me.
Old age.
She wasn't the help me woman, was she?
No, not at all.
Because when the famous accident occurred in my life, and my mom was in like a home for a little while to recuperate, there were the help me women around the hallways. They'd sit outside.
Oh, no.
I laugh because I'm uncomfortable. I just want people to understand that.
Oof.
Sometimes I laugh because I really enjoy what I'm about to say. But,
Yeah.
but in this case, I'm a little uncomfortable. But they're the ones that sit in their wheelchair. They're older than dirt. When you start asking how old some of these people are, you're amazed. Oh, she's 105. She's 108. What?
Yeah.
And anyways, she's sitting outside her room in her wheelchair, and you walk by because you're going to see in my case, my mom, and all of a sudden they grab on with that hand, with that grip,
that claw,
the kung fu grip, and they just start screaming, "Help me! Help me!" And then like the people that work there are like, don't pay attention to her, and they almost slap her hand off.
Help!
Right.
Help! Shut it.
And then you feel guilt, so you try to have a normal what can I help you with?
Oh,
and it's just like you were, it's dementia and it's nonsense, and there's nothing you could do. There's nothing anyone can do.
My husband, he's at the cemetery.
Right.
What do that was one thing, because like my grandfather, he died I think we figured out 30 years ago.
Jeez.
Or something. And she would kind of ask, where's my husband? Where is Joe? Where's my husband?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's
he's long gone.
He's residing in the ditch that you're going to be next to in no time.
let me teach you something about the next to you thing.
Oh yeah,
it's on top of.
Oh yeah, there are 2 ways to do it.
When you go to a cemetery, it looks all nice. Oh, there's Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
No, Grandpa usually dies first, so he's below Grandma.
They stack them.
They stack those coffins.
Stack them
They
up.
stack the coffins. Yes.
That's fantastic. My God.
But you guys had it more as a celebration of her life, right?
Exactly. It was one of those things that wasn't any, oh my God.
Was it your mom's mom?
None of that stuff. Yeah.
Was she cool?
Oh, yeah. She was cool. Well, family.
Just losing your mom or your dad's a little weird. I would imagine no matter how old you are.
And they were saying, in a way, relief.
Yeah.
Because all they were doing was, making trips to the old folks' home and doing laundry and just, doing things.
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job. So that was that. We then go back to the house for the let's just hang out because somebody died party.
And you don't want to be the first to leave that party.
No,
All
no.
right, well, I got to go.
Yeah, well, look at the time. Yeah.
Because you got to figure out how much time. Like, I think
picture.
I think I could do 3 hours.
I twittered the old Ginzo.
Oh, nice. Look at that. You got the wine.
Yeah, that was a little early on.
Uh-huh.
And then more food comes out. And
Very nice.
that was good, though. It was a good excuse for a nooner.
I sent you a text. I sent you a text. What did I write? I was trying to do a wise guy bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to do a wise guy bit through text messaging.
Yeah, did you have any gabagool?
That's what
gabagool.
That's what I was getting at, but I'm like, man, I don't know if he's going to understand that. So then I had to write wise guy accent in parentheses.
Yeah, you
I'm
had
trying
the
to
direction to your
I'm
Twitter.
trying to do an audio bit through a text, making up some whacked out Italian dish.
The church portion is the most, kind of thing. So we go into the church, and then it's one of these, big Catholic send-offs. Mm-hmm. So the priest is up there, and he's talking, and I'm sitting next to my Uncle Joe, and we're just like...
A lot of Joes in your family.
A lot of Joes, yeah. So Paulies and Petey's
and
Joes.
Anthony's.
Joes and Anthony's are all our family. And it was just like, we're talking, going, this is sci-fi fantasy. This whole Jesus thing, where they're talking about how, she is now with Jesus, who rose from the dead, and I'm like, it's zombie Jesus. Mm-hmm. It's zombie Jesus, and he rose, and then they tell other stories from the Bible, and you're like, this is just some fantasy world stuff that...
We had a whole discussion about that on yesterday's show with Bill Donahue.
Oh, yeah.
The storytelling, and there might be some problems because the stories were handed down for 60 years before they started actually writing the stories.
Yeah, how accurate.
It was the greatest game of telephone ever.
Oh.
How accurate could you be 60 years later telling a story?
Then I guess there's supposed to be some divine, intervention that makes it all right and makes it the way it really is, and the story is accurate. But you're just like, what? I'm listening going, what? Just stop. Just stop. Right now, Francis is with Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus. And he's taking the incense thing and swinging it around the coffin. There's smoke coming out. You're like, what is that? What is this, a magic trick? What are you going to do?
It's the Prestige.
Pull her out alive? The Prestige. Right. He was performing the Prestige. You can't do it. He used a bloody double. Yeah, they do all that, and then the drive to the cemetery. It's just the stress of keeping in line and not losing the hearse.
Oh, no kidding.
It's like, well, I'm going through red lights.
It's very stressful.
And for me, going through red lights, I was really going through red lights.
For real? Well, did you have the cops and stuff? You had a cop. They usually give a cop or two for those every funeral now.
The hearse had like the flashing lights on the front now.
Dude, one of my cousins almost got killed going to the cemetery for my grandma's funeral. Almost got T-boned because just like you were saying, you're like, the laws don't apply to me today. I got my high beams on.
Right.
And so you're going through the red lights.
Someone died. I'm above the law.
So you're going through the red lights, right?
Yeah.
Most people would still look like, well, this is a little crazy. It's the middle of the day. I'm going through red lights, and it's pretty busy where we live, right?
Yeah.
Man, my cousin was in front of me, and obviously, like, just assuming everyone knows I'm just going through red lights, high beams, and man, he by this much getting T-boned. Meaning another 3 days of walking around like zombies.
Yeah, right? It's just one of those situations where you just, oh, God, I don't want to deal with this. Mm-hmm. And then the cemetery portion of it.
Oh, could you talk about that? Because we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, why?
Just your observations.
Well,
you're good like me with this stuff.
It's so morbid.
Thank you.
It's just morbid.
Did you all get a flower?
Yes, we got the flower. But even though it's the morbidity started before that, they hold you up for a little while I guess they prepare the grounds so it doesn't look like it's just a hole in the ground that Granny's getting dumped into.
Yeah, they
put the green AstroTurf over the dirt. There's like a big pile of dirt, but they put like this green AstroTurf over it. You're not going to notice there's a big mound of dirt there that's going to be shoveled in by the ghouls that work there.
Well,
in their utility uniforms.
Basically, they're getting window treatments for the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ghouls are usually Mexicans. We were
The ghouls
discussing this yesterday.
Yeah. They're day laborers, it looks like.
Yes.
And then they put the wooden planks around it and cover that with the AstroTurf and tell you to be careful when you throw the rows in because, boy, you sure don't want to fall into the hole.
No.
That can be embarrassing. But the worst part was just off of a few tombstones down was some gentleman who had to be perhaps in his 50s, and he was kneeling down in front of this little headstone with Mylar balloons that were in the ground, and he's wiping things away and talking. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this morbid? Obviously, there's some young dead person that this maybe a father or something. I don't know, but I'm just watching this going, why am I putting myself through this depression?
Yeah.
To see that. It's not even it wasn't even grandma going in. That was fine. She's 93 years old. But then you just got to watch these people mourning. I don't want to say it. But the best part about the cemetery was that my navigation system has every road in Pine Lawn.
Really?
Yeah. So I was able to get the F out of there because you could get lost in there driving around. The roads are ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And, I flipped that nav on and was just out of there lickety-split.
I'm out of
here.
The
second that rose was thrown down on that coffin, I was like, later, Granny.
See you later. Thanks.